Dum dum dum. Hello, people. Welcome back to the Nightwalk vlog. I am your host. Where that shadow coming from? I am your host, Chad Marco, and I'm here to tell everyone that it's over. If you're if you're a sub 8 male, it's over. If you're Asian, it's over. If you're Indian, it's over. If you're under 6 feet, it's it's over. Oh man, I'm kidding, but if you can tell by the title of this video that I'm going to talk about the black pill, right? And if you know anything about the black pill, like that's one of the memes in the black pill community, where it's like, oh, you're Asian, it's over. You're in, basically saying like you have a severe disadvantage on the dating market, so therefore it's over. That's a black pill meme, if you don't know. But I want to talk about the black pill tonight because this past week I've been kind of absent. Like I was supposed to be very busy this weekend, and I ended up like sleeping the whole the whole weekend away. But while I was being a lazy piece of shit, I was watching a lot of black pill content. I was just sitting around like looking at some of the black pill OGs like Face LMS, Black Pill TV, Wheat Waffles, etc. And it was very it's kind of strange. It's like it's very relaxing in a weird way, just chilling out, eating some snacks, watching some black pill shit. Like it's kind of like a fucked up comfort watching that type of shit. But I really got it in. I got it in this weekend, and I was like, I gotta talk about this shit. I might do like a episode of the podcast about it too, like after the next one. But I just want to talk about it briefly. While I'm out here in the cold tonight. So if you don't know, the black pill is different from the red pill, right? There are a lot of like similarities between the red pill and the black pill, but the black pill is more like pessimistic and it's more focused on the looks aspect of mate selection and dating and whatnot, right? So red pill is more varied because red pill does cover things like looks, but it also considers things like status and money, right? And also the intricacies of male female relationships and shit like that, like certain dynamics within their relationship, dealing with each other and shit. I think red pill goes more in depth, right? It's more varied, and I think black pill focuses more on looks, genetic determinism. That's the black pill's specialty right there. And I think also like red pill is more optimistic. Red pill is meant to reveal the truths about dating and female nature and whatnot, but in such a way where it's like you play the game to your advantage. And the black pill is more like you're fucked. Right? The black pill is definitely much more pessimistic. It's like, man, you're just fucked. I'm sure we all seen that infamous classic Eggman video on the black pill many years ago. But yeah, that's like the black pill in a nutshell, right? It's basically focusing on the aspect of dating where that pertains to how selective women are in their preferences in regards to a man's physical traits, right? And like that can vary anywhere from like height is one of the main ones, facial harmony, like eyes, nose, hairline, race, um, teeth, pretty much everything, pretty much all physical traits of a man, right? And how that plays into a woman's like selecting a mate. And so I just want to kind of give my input on like what I think about the black pill and whatnot. because you guys know I'm more of a I'm more of an optimistic kind of person. You know, I'm fairly optimistic. Despite being a virginal a virginal single dude guy, you know, I never really it doesn't bother me that much, right? So that's one of the ways where I always felt kind of disconnected from the black pill, because I think that even though I believe they highlight a lot of truths as far as like how selective women can be as far as like selecting guys, and how like how they are like they are very focused on the physical just like guys are. You know, I think that's one of the that's one of the good things about the black pill, is how they really break that shit down to a science. Where I've always felt disconnected from them was like, it's like, okay, well, yeah, it's pretty brutal. Women are very picky, but it's like, to me, it's like, whatever. Like, just, you know, it's more to life than that, you know. And I think that the black pill is like, it's more like, well, it's brutal, it's bad, it has an effect on me, and it's part of the reason why my life sucks, right? And make no mistake either, because the black pill goes beyond like how your physical traits affect the way women perceive you, right? Because the statistics even prove that it goes beyond that. You know, the way you look can affect the type of jobs that you get. It can affect whether or not you're bullied in school growing up, and then that can have an effect on your mental, on your mindset, on your psyche and shit like that. Um, and just the way people in general perceive you. You know, I'm sure we all heard of the halo effect, where the more attractive you are, people just tend to gravitate more towards you. People assume you're more trustworthy and shit like that. So, looks matter a lot. Looks matter a lot in society. I don't like anyone who denies that. I think is just, again, it's that blue pill. Um, what's the word? Was it, is it just life or some shit? I forgot exactly the word, but it's like people who just believe that everything is just fair, equal, and even, and there isn't any sort of like imbalance in the world, right? I don't know how people can go through life thinking like that, but some people really like don't believe that looks are as important as they really are. And again, it goes beyond like what women want and what women are attracted to. You know, this is something that can affect you in throughout your whole life, you know. I mean, somebody might see you, like, you might be like 5'5", and then other men see you and say, I could take that guy. Like, I could, man, you know, he like a little wimp, you know. But if you're like 6'5", it's a totally different story. Now they think twice before trying you. They wouldn't even think of it. Like, they'd be like, damn, like, you know. So that's just one example of how like your genetics can determine like your course through life, you know. Or even like you know, just sticking with the whole height thing, like basketball. You know, most guys who make it in the NBA are well over 6 feet tall. You know, if you max out at 5'6", you're probably not gonna make it in the NBA. You know, it's probably, I mean, it's hard enough getting in there anyway as a tall motherfucker. But to be short on top of that, I mean, it's like your chances go down astronomically. But yeah, you know, I was just watching a lot of black pill stuff, man. It was very entertaining. It was very insightful. Not like I didn't already know a lot of this stuff, but I really just went in as far as like just straight like binging the shit over the weekend, and it was a good old time. Um, but um, I think that I think looking at it, you know, black like black pill, the black pill community has its detractors, just like any community would have, right? And one thing that I always notice, one thing that I always notice, bro, is like this shit, like, it makes me face palm every time when people say shit like this. But you know, whenever people try to debunk the black pill, what do they always do? You know what they you know what they always do, right? Well, I know a guy. I know this fat, short, balding, disgusting dude who lives in his mom's basement, and he's fucking models every weekend. It's the same shit, bro. And this is really why I want to talk about this shit. Because I get tired of people saying this shit. It's like it's the same argument every goddamn time, bro. And it's the argument of pointing out the exceptions to the rule, man. And it's like, oh God. it's like, have you not thought this through? and dude, like, I don't have any bias because I'm a positive, optimistic motherfucker. Like I understand that looks are important, but I don't let that shit get me down. But I can still be objective enough to look at the bigger picture. And I think the people who say shit like that, they not looking at the bigger picture. Like people who point out the fat motherfucker that's short, they know who fucking bitches, bro. They don't see the bigger picture. Now, and that's why I really want to talk about this shit, bro. I want to break this shit down for sleep motherfuckers. I gotta break this shit down, man. Cause like it's like some people don't get this shit. And it's so simple. It's so simple. Like it's like if you took an extra minute to think before you pulled it out of your ass. It's so simple. But so what people will always say to try to debunk the black pill, right? Because again, the black pill is the argument that women have certain preferences as far as like a man's looks, as far as a man's genetics. And this is a big reason why you see a lot of men nowadays being excluded from the dating market. That's why you see a lot of guys who don't really have options, guys who are struggling a lot with women, is that they're genetically inferior. And so they're at a disadvantage when it comes to dating, right? That's the black pill in a nutshell, right? The more genetically inferior you are, the bigger your disadvantage when it comes to attracting women, the less options you're going to have, the less success you're going to have when dealing with women, and even other aspects of life as well, right? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. But what a normie would say is, well, I know a guy. I know a fat guy. I know an Indian guy. I know a guy theory. And I'm not saying that they don't, right? Because I know a guy. Right? I know a guy. We all know a guy. Who doesn't know a guy that's breaking all the rules and is able to make shit happen? Like it happens. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with that shit. Because there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. It's just like what I said with basketball, right? Most NBA players are over 6 feet tall. Period. I guarantee you, most Hall of Famers, the most loved and respected elite players were well over 6 feet tall. 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'6", 6'7", shit like that. Now, I know you got some 5'8" motherfuckers, some 5'9s in here and there. It was even one dude who's like what, 5'2", 5'3", some shit. But you can't just point out those guys who were like 5'8" and be like, look, this disproves your theory that height is very important in basketball. You can't, because all right, yeah, they're 5 whatever and made it to the NBA, but look at the bigger picture. How many basketball players throughout the history of the NBA have been less than 6 feet tall? How many how many Hall of Famers are less than 6 feet tall compared to the ones that are over 6 feet tall? And right there, you have your answer, is that you can always find somebody that's an outlier. You can always find someone that's breaking the rules and still making shit work. That'll happen. That's possible. But the thing is, when you look at the bigger picture, you will see that overwhelmingly, the people who are most successful, the people who get the most traction, the people who get the most whatever, tend to have certain traits. And in dating, it's the exact same thing, right? And so when people point out these exceptions, it's not really debunking the black pill. All you're doing is pointing out that it basically it is possible to make shit work, even if you don't have the traits that are considered generally like most attractive for men or for women or whatever, right? But again, we got to look at the bigger picture. And so even though some guys can be fat, 5'2", bald, and fuck models, right? It'll happen. Here's the issue. How many women are willing to settle for that? How many women are there that are gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna pass up on this motherfucker that's 6'3", 10% body fat, abs, 8-inch penis. Like I'm gonna pass up on this one, and I'm gonna take this little dude, 5'4", 5'4", bald, but he's so confident. Some will do that. I would give you that. Some will do that, but how many are gonna do that? And so I think that when you look at it, like when I look at shit as a whole, like I will say I think the black pill is almost like too pessimistic, whereas like they would say just give up hope, right? Like if you have like, oh, you're Indian, short, bad face, they would say just give up hope. Right? And I think that's very pessimistic, but the ugly truth of it is that some guys really are just fucked. Some guys really are just, it's that bad. It's that bad. I think what people have to realize is that life is not fair. And I think a lot of the reason why people won't accept the black pill is because it's a ugly reality. It's a ugly truth that people don't want to look at, that people don't want to accept. So you have to believe it's something else. It can't be because of the way he looks. It can't be because of people being superficial and shallow and prioritizing the way you look. It can't be that. They resist, they refuse, and so they look for the exceptions and the outliers. They look, right? And it's like, and I'm like, okay, but still, I'm saying look at the bigger picture. And see, that's the issue with these people, that they can't see the forest from the trees. And like here's a good example, right? It's like if we live in a village and there's a food shortage, right? Like let's say it's 500 people, and because of the food shortage, we can only feed half the population, 250, right? Now, if you have plenty of food and your neighbors have plenty of food, and I come to you saying there's a food shortage, you're like, what the fuck? Like, I got food. And I know a guy. He has food. He's 5'2". I know a guy, right? But I'm telling you, like, look, I get it. You're eating, he's eating, but we don't have enough for everybody. Like, we're going to die. Like, half of us are going to die. I'm telling you, like it's happening now, but you don't see it because you're stuck in your own perspective. You're stuck in your own world of what you want to believe and what you see around you, that you're not looking at the bigger picture, And I think it's the same thing with this whole thing with lookism and genetic determinism, black pill and all that, right? You will find guys who are exceptions, guys who aren't conventionally attractive, who do well. But when you look at things as a whole, most of the guys who are really killing it have these traits. Most of the guys that women are gravitating towards are exceptionally physically attractive, do have a lot of money, do have a lot of status, and whatnot. Like, these things are very important. And when you just look at things for how they are, you see that the guys who are killing it the most, on average, have these things. They are tall. They are handsome. They are in shape. They are wealthy. They are successful. Now you'll find a broke dude getting bad bitches. You'll find a fat nigga fucking bad bitches. But when you look at things as a whole, who's doing it the most? Who's doing it the most? It's the guys who fit the Chad archetype. It's the guys who fit the Tyrone archetype more often than not, right? And so, I hear a motorcycle. But I don't know a better way to explain the shit, because it just seems like people just can't wrap their head around that concept of, yeah, there can be exceptions, but if for the most part it's a certain way, then that means that, yeah, certain guys are going to be left out. It's like, to put it simply, there's only a limited amount of girls to go around. Some of them will not have like the standard preferences that the black pill would say that they would have, right? Tall, handsome, big dick, money, etc. Right? Some will not have that. But what I'm saying is too many have that. So many have these standards that exclude like 50%, 60%, 70% of men, that this is contributing to why you see so many guys struggling. And like I said before, it's happening right now. It's happening. Like it's like what you see is there, but you want to believe that it's something else. You want to believe where they're not confident enough, they don't try enough. And certainly for some guys that's the case. I'm not gonna act like it's all about just the way you look, because confidence and energy and attitude is very important. I talked about it like years ago on how to be a neat, goddamn. But still, I like, you know, I like, I don't know if you guys saw the post I made about the Pineapple Show, right? That show that Melly Monaco does. And I've seen like not entire, like the entire episodes, but I like watching the beginning where the girl is describing like her standards, right? And what I noticed watching the Pineapple Show, and that show is basically like a show where where girls reject guys or whatnot who try to come up and date them or whatnot, right? Like on like what is like a Google chat thing. Like they can see the guy's face, they chat, they like them, whatever, they don't, pineapple, right? And one thing I noticed is that most of the girls that go up there have a height preference, right? Most of them have that thing about, oh, he got to be over 6 feet or at least like 5'11", something like that. But, this is one trait. This is one damn thing, height. But with that one thing, if you're a girl and you say my man has to be 6 feet or taller, you've already eliminated 80% of men. Like off the bat, that's one trait, and you've eliminated 80% right there, and we ain't even got started yet. We ain't even got started, and I know this isn't every girl. But what I'm saying is, when you get enough girls like this who are eliminating 50, 60, 70, 80% of guys off a handful of traits and are sticking to that shit, this is why you see the imbalance in the dating market now. This is why you see so many guys struggling. Yeah, part of it is a lack of effort, lack of confidence. Like that's some real shit too. But you got to also take into consideration that genetic determinism is very real. And you can see it in a lot of different species as well, where the most like masculine, the bird with the brightest feathers, the deer with the biggest, what they call it, antlers? Fuck is that shit? Whatever. Right? They get the access to the most females, right? I mean, it's elementary, bro. But I think, again, people just don't want to believe that life isn't fair. I think it's too brutal. It's too brutal to accept that some guys are really fucked. And some guys are really fucked. I'm not with that pessimism shit, but I'm realistic. Some guys are just fucked. But at the same time, I'll say this, bruh. Like, the dating game, I've been looking at this shit. I've been observing this shit from afar, from the stands, for years, bruh. And what I realized is that this shit is cutthroat. This shit is brutal, bruh. Like, nowadays, it's not enough. Like, it's not enough to be average. Like I feel like, bro, and that's why I don't do shit. That's why I don't even play the game. Cause I feel like, I believe as an average man, bro, unless you get lucky, dating is suffering. It's dating is suffering. That's why you see so many guys going MGTOW, bro. Cause dating as an average dude is suffering. And I think you don't have to go full black pill and give up hope. But I think like if you do have hope and you want to be successful in dating, like you gotta say fuck it, and you gotta do everything you can to put yourself in that top 20%, bro. That's the only way. And most guys can't do it. Most guys won't do it. Most guys either can't or they won't. It ain't. But damn, if you want to be successful in that shit, bro, like, cause I'm not with the pessimism shit, bro. So I ain't trying to tell nobody to give up hope, but I'm gonna say this shit is brutal. This shit is cutthroat. It's fucked up, bro. And you gotta be like, fuck it. And like that normal shit, like 100 cold approaches, that ain't enough, bro. That ain't enough. Like you have to drill your way into the top 20%, 15% of men. Period. This shit is rough. This shit is hard. Like for real, dog. This shit is bad. This shit is bad, you know. But yeah, like I don't want to. I never try to discourage guys. I just try to keep it real. But that's my final diagnosis, right? I think the black pill has a lot of truth. I think a lot of guys in that community can be like overly pessimistic, you know. And I always felt more aligned with MGTOW than black pill. And you know, MGTOW and black pill are like natural enemies. But I can still see that a lot of the things that they highlight, as far as like, you know, the importance of looks and genetics is very true, very true. I'm just not with the pessimism, and I think they go to the extreme sometimes. But again, my diagnosis, like this shit is definitely hard, but this shit rough. This shit rough. Like in my mind, it's 20% or nothing. If you're not in the 20%, well, you ain't gotta listen to me. But I know me personally, like if I ain't in that top bracket, I ain't playing the game, bro. This is a game I'm not playing unless I'm in the top percentage, bro. Because it's suffering otherwise. It's suffering. You know, I'm not saying you're not gonna get nothing, but damn. But damn. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was my black pill video. And I'll be checking in with you guys again later. You like this blue light? It's cool. See ya. Johnny!